Dear friends and students, welcome to my YouTube channel MB Maths Academy. My name is Mohan Balaji, lecturer in mathematics. Do like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you. Dear students, I am going to start second part of calculus, that is integral calculus. In this chapter we are going to learn 4 lessons. Number 1, indefinite integration. Number 2, definite integration. Number 3, areas of bounded regions. Number 4, differential equations. Dear students, in integral calculus the first lesson is indefinite integration. At the starting of this lesson we have to learn 3 things: antiderivative or primitive, second one indefinite integral, third one indefinite integration. Let us discuss what is antiderivative or primitive. Take a function phi of x, which is a differentiable function at any x. Now the derivative of pi of x with respect to x can be expressed mathematically as d by dx of pi of x is equal to f of x. By observing this expression, we can say f of x is the derivative of pi of x. In opposite way, pi of x is called antiderivative of f of x. I repeat, the outcome is the derivative. The function we are differentiating is the antiderivative. F of x is the derivative of pi of x. Pi of x is the antiderivative of f of x. Now I introduce a constant here. Let us see what happens. D by dx of pi of x is equal to f of x. We assumed that derivative of pi of x is f of x. Let us introduce a constant c plus c. See what happens. Derivative of pi of x is f of x plus derivative of a constant is 0. F of x plus 0 is f of x only. What is the meaning of that? If I introduce plus c also here, I will get same f of x as derivative. For pi of x, derivative is f of x. For pi of x plus c is also derivative is f of x. What is the meaning of that? For function f of x, you will get many number of antiderivatives. So I will do one thing. F of x is the derivative of pi of x plus c with respect to x. Now pi of x plus c is the antiderivative of f of x with respect to x. Antiderivative is also called primitive of f of x with respect to x. Now observe carefully. Here in this definition you have to understand 2 things. Number 1, d by dx of pi of x plus c is equal to f of x, means f of x is the derivative of pi of x plus c with respect to x. Pi of x plus c is the antiderivative of f of x with respect to x. That is the first one. Number 2, for this f of x you will get many number of antiderivatives depending on the constant. If you take different constants, you will get different antiderivatives. That is the second one. Now we are going to discuss second one, indefinite integral. The collection of all antiderivatives of f of x with respect to x is called indefinite integral of f of x. Here I told you, for f of x you will get many number of antiderivatives. The collection of all antiderivatives is called indefinite integral of f of x with respect to x. In simple words, antiderivative is the indefinite integral. That's all. Right. How to write indefinite integral? It is written like this. With these symbols, you can write antiderivative. You have to write a symbol like this. Middle you have to write the function and dx. Here dx means integration with respect to x we are doing, because f is a function in x. It is read as integral of f of x with respect to x. Now this indefinite integral of f of x with respect to x mathematically expressed like this: integral of f of x dx is equal to pi of x plus c. Here c is a variable constant. It is also called arbitrary constant, and it is a real number. I told you here, for different constants also you will get same derivative. So instead of writing all the constants, different constants, I'll just write c. C represents an arbitrary constant, a variable constant. Now let us relate these two. Derivative of pi of x plus c is f of x. Then integral of f of x is pi of x plus c. What is the meaning of this? Differentiation and integration. These are all opposite procedures. They are the opposite procedures, reverse procedures we can say. Now let us discuss indefinite integration. Process of finding indefinite integral of a function is called indefinite integration. Here we discussed the procedure to write, how to write indefinite integral. What is that procedure? Derivative of pi of x plus c is f of x, then integral of f of x dx is pi of x plus c. This procedure is called indefinite integration. The outcome is called indefinite integral. The procedure we follow to get the indefinite integral is called indefinite integration. Here let us discuss about c. What is c? It is called constant of integration. I told you already, it is a variable constant, means arbitrary constant. Variable constant is nothing but arbitrary constant. It is not a fixed constant. I want to explain with the help of an example. d by dx of x cube by 3 equal to what? Derivative of x cube is 3x square. 3 gets cancelled, you will get x square. Here what is the outcome? X square. X square is the derivative of x cube by 3 with respect to x. Now what is x cube by 3? It is an antiderivative of x square. So antiderivative is nothing but indefinite integral. Integral x square dx is equal to x cube by 3 comes. Here we have to write constant of integration as plus c. Why? Because indefinite integral is the collection of all antiderivatives. So here x cube by 3 is antiderivative, one antiderivative, and if you write plus some constants, there also becomes antiderivatives for x square. That's why instead of writing different constants, just write one constant, it is enough. This is called constant. Suppose d by dx of small f of x is equal to capital F of x, then we can write integral capital F of x dx is equal to small f of x plus c. Why? Because capital F of x is derivative of small f of x. Small f of x is antiderivative of capital F of x. Antiderivative of capital F of x can be expressed like this: integral of capital F of x dx equal to small f of x plus c. Let us write a small concept. Integral of capital F of x dx. If we differentiate this, what will be the result? Let us discuss. Integral of capital F of x dx is nothing but small f of x plus c. By the definition, small f of x plus c. Now start differentiation. D by dx of small f of x is capital F of x plus d by dx of a constant is 0. Therefore, the result can be written as d by dx of integral of capital F of x dx is equal to capital F of x. Let us discuss second result. Integral of d by dx of small f of x dx is what? Integral of d by dx of small f of x is capital F of x by the definition. Now, integral of capital F of x dx is small f of x plus c. Therefore, the result can be written like this. Integral of d by dx of small f of x dx is equal to small f of x plus c. All of you observe these two results. When you do integration, later differentiation, the result is the function f of x. Here you are differentiating first, later integration. Here also result is small f of x. But here later you are doing integration, so you have to write constant of integration. Here after integration you are differentiating. So when you differentiate, constant derivative becomes 0. So don't write constant. These are the two results you have to remember. Let us write some examples. Say integral of d by dx of log x dx. What will be the answer? What will be the answer? According to second result, the answer is small f of x plus c. The same function will come plus c you have to write. So answer is log x plus c. Now one more example. D by dx of integral of x power n dx. What will be the answer? According to the first concept, the answer is f of x. Capital F of x same comes here. So answer is x power n. Here after integration you are doing differentiation, so constant derivative becomes 0. When you integrate you will get plus c. When you differentiate, constant derivative becomes 0. No need to write constant c. Standard integrals means integration of some elementary standard functions. These formulas you have to remember to do problems. Now the first one, integral of 1 dx is x plus c. So antiderivative of 1 is x. If you differentiate x plus c, you will get 1. So if you differentiate right-handed parts, you will get the integrand. Antiderivatives you will get. So like that, these are the main important formula. I will read the formula. You have to revise and you have to remember the formula to do problems. Integral of x power n dx is equal to x power n plus 1 by n plus 1 plus c. Here n should not be minus 1. If n is minus 1, denominator becomes 0 and the answer is not defined. That's why n should not take minus 1. Now integral of 1 by root x dx is 2 root x plus c. Integral of e power x dx is e power x plus c. Integral of a power x dx equal to a power x by log a plus c. Here log a, here a is inside the log, so a should be positive and it should not be 1 according to the conditions of domains of logarithm. Integral of 1 by x dx is log of mod x plus c. Here x should not be 0 because denominator should not be 0 for any function. Now integral of mod x by x dx is mod x plus c. Here x should not be 0. In the similar way, integral of 1 by x power n dx is equal to, the formula is minus 1 by n minus 1 into x power n minus 1. Here n should not be 1 and x should not be 0. Now these are the integrations of trigonometric functions. Integral of sin x dx is minus cos x plus c. Differentiate right handed part. Minus cos x derivative is minus sin x. So minus minus plus sin x. Derivative of c is 0. So we will get sin x. So antiderivative of sin x is minus cos x plus c. Like that, you have to read the formula. Integral of cos x dx is sin x plus c. Integral of secant square x dx is tan x plus c, because tan x derivative is secant square x. But you have to remember the formula from left handed to right handed part. Integral of cosecant square x dx is equal to minus cot x plus c. Integral of secant x tan x dx equal to secant x plus c. Integral of cosecant x cot x dx equal to minus cosecant x plus c. Now inverse trigonometric functions. You know, derivative of sin inverse x is 1 by root 1 minus x square. In reverse manner, integral of 1 by root 1 minus x square dx is sin inverse x plus c, or minus cos inverse x plus c. Why? Because if you differentiate, you will get this. Cos inverse x derivative is minus 1 by root 1 minus x square. Minus minus cancel, you will get this result. So integral of 1 by root 1 minus x square dx can be expressed in two ways: sin inverse x plus c or minus cos inverse x plus c. Now integral of 1 by 1 plus x square dx is equal to tan inverse x plus c or minus cot inverse x plus c. Now integral of 1 by mod x into root x square minus 1 dx equal to secant inverse x plus c or minus cosecant inverse x plus c. Friends, next formula is integral of sin hx dx. These are all integrals of hyperbolic functions. Integral of sin hx dx is cos hx plus c. Integral of sin hyperbolic x dx is equal to cos hyperbolic x plus c. Like that, integral of cos hx dx equal to sin hx plus c. Integral of secant h square x dx equal to tan hx plus c. Integral of cosecant h square x dx equal to minus cot hx plus c. Integral of secant hx into tan hx dx equal to minus secant hx plus c. Integral of cosecant hx into cot hx dx equal to minus cosecant hx plus c. These are the formulas relating to hyperbolic functions. These are the antiderivatives, these are the derivatives. If you differentiate right-handed parts, you will get left-handed parts. If you integrate left-handed parts, you will get right-handed parts. After that, inverse hyperbolic. Here what we are doing is, we are just writing inverse way of differentiation. Differentiation formulas we are writing in inverse manner, that is integration. Now integral of 1 by root 1 plus x square dx is equal to sin h inverse x plus c. In differentiation, sin h inverse x plus c derivative is 1 by root 1 plus x square. So integration of 1 by root 1 plus x square is sin h inverse x plus c. Another form of sin h inverse x is this one, log mod x plus root x square plus 1 plus c. Now 25. Integral of 1 by root x square minus 1 dx. It can be expressed in two ways. The students, here the domain of this function is outside of 1 minus 1 and plus 1. So it can be expressed in two ways. If x is greater than 1, the integration becomes cos h inverse x. If x is less than minus 1, the integration becomes minus of cos h inverse of minus x. You can learn these two things in inverse trigonometric functions. Now here Another form of cos h inverse x is log mod x plus root x square minus 1 plus c. Now next formula is integral of 1 by 1 minus x square dx is nothing but tan h inverse x plus c. Here mod x should be less than 1. These are all formulas known as standard integrals. By the help of this formula we will do problems. Okay, evaluate following integrals. First problem, integral of 1 minus x into 4 minus 3x into 2x plus 3 dx. We have to evaluate this integral. Inside the integral we have product of 3 linear factors. If you multiply these 3 linear factors, you will get a cubic polynomial. You just multiply these 3 factors, you will get this cubic polynomial. Now start integration by algebra of, here we have to use algebra of integrals and standard formula. So apply integration separately. 6 is a constant, so constant into function, so integral can be written as 6 into integral of x cube dx minus 5 into integral of x square dx minus 13 into integral of x dx plus integral of 12 dx. Look at the last one, integral of 12 dx. 12 means 12 into 1. So I am writing integral 12 dx as 12 into integral of 1 dx. Now write the formula. 6 into, we have formula x power n. X power n integration is x power n plus 1 by n plus 1. According to the formula, it becomes x power 3 plus 1 by 3 plus 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. 4 by 4. Minus 5 into x power 2. Apply same formula, you will get x power 2 plus 1 by 2 plus 1. That is x power 3 by 3. Minus 13 into x means x power 1. X means x power 1. Apply x power n formula, you will get x power 1 plus 1 by 1 plus 1. That is 2 by 2. Now last, 12 into integral of 1 dx, the first standard integral. Integral of 1 dx is x. Now write the constant of integration c. No need of writing constant of integration c for each and every integral. Write at the end as c is enough. Why? Because constant plus constant plus constant plus constant becomes a constant only. So instead of writing constants for each and every term, write a constant at the end of the integral result. Now this becomes what? After cancellation it becomes 3 by 2 x power 4 minus 5 by 3 x cube minus 13 by 2 x square plus 12x plus c is the answer. Now I am going to discuss second problem. Integral of x power 6 minus 1 by x square plus 1 dx. Students, the degree of the numerator is 6, denominator is 2. This fraction is called improper fraction. Whenever improper fraction comes, convert it into proper fraction by actual division method. So divide numerator by denominator. So like this. How to divide? This is x power 6 now. So multiply with x power 4. You will get x power 6 plus x power 4. Now do subtraction. This 2 gets cancelled. You will get minus x power 4 minus 1. Here minus x power 4 is there. To get minus x power 4, you must multiply this with minus x square. Multiply with minus x square, you will get minus x power 4 minus x square. Subtract. When you subtract, it becomes plus, it becomes plus. These 2 gets cancelled. This is plus x square minus 1. Now this is x square and this is also x square. So just multiply with 1, you will get x square plus 1 multiply this with 1, minus minus cancel, you will get minus 1 minus 1 minus 2. This is the remainder. This is called actual division. Now when you divide like this, the fraction can be written as quotient plus remainder by divisor. The fraction can be written as quotient plus remainder by divisor. Fraction can be written as, the fraction can be written as quotient plus remainder by divisor. If you simplify, you will get fraction only. Now what is quotient here? X power 4 minus x square plus 1. This is quotient plus remainder. Remainder is minus 2. Minus 2 divided by divisor. Divisor is x square plus 1 dx. Now as usual, apply integral separately. The first term is integral x power 4 dx minus integral x square dx plus integral of 1 dx plus into minus minus integral of 2 by x square plus 1 dx. Now apply formula. X power 5 integration is x power 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1, that is x power 5 by 5. This is x cube by 3. 1 integration is x minus 2 by x square plus 1. 2 is a constant. Constant into function. 2 into 1 by x square plus 1. Constant into function. How to integrate? Write constant as it is, integrate the function. Integral of 1 by x square plus 1, that is nothing but tan inverse x. I told earlier the formula. At the end you have to write Students, third problem. Integral of e to the power log of 1 plus tan square x dx. In logarithms, we have a formula. A to the power log m base a is equal to m. By this formula, the integrand can be expressed like this. E to the power log of 1 plus tan square x is secant square x. The base of the logarithm is not mentioned here. That means you have to consider as e dx because it is a natural logarithm. Now by observing that formula, a power log m base a equal to m, you can write this as secant square x. So what I did is simplification of this integrand. Now apply the formula. Integral of secant square x dx is tan x plus c. Now I want to do problem number 4. Integral of secant square x into cosecant square x dx. You know very well, secant square x is 1 by cos square x, cosecant square x is 1 by sin square x. If you multiply, you will get 1 by sin square x into cos square x you will get. Now write 1 as sin square x plus cos square x by sin square x into cos square x. You know the identity, one trigonometric identity, sin square x plus cos square x. Now write denominator separately. This denominator comes for both terms. If you write denominator for first term, sin square x gets cancelled, you will get 1 by cos square x. If you write for denominator for second term, cos square x cancel, you will get 1 by sin square x dx. 1 by cos square x is secant square x, 1 by sin square x is cosecant square x dx. At the middle we have plus, so integrate separately, we will get the answer. secant square x integration is tan x, cosecant square x integration is minus cot x, minus into plus minus cot x plus c. Now problem number 5. We don't have direct formula to get the answer. So simplify the function in such a way that we can apply the formula. So expand numerator. This is a power x whole square plus b power x whole square minus 2 into a power x into b power x by denominator a power x into b power x. This denominator is for all the three terms. If you write denominator for first term, one a power x gets cancelled, you will get a power x by b power x. It can be written as a by b power x. If you write denominator for second term, one b power x gets cancelled, you will get b power x by a power x, that is b by a power x. Write denominator for third term, a power x and b power x gets cancelled, you will get 2 into 1 dx. Now go for integration. Here we have plus and minus. When plus and minus are there, you have to integrate separately. If you observe, this is in the form a power x, a by b power x, constant power x. So the formula is a by b power x by log a by b. We have formula a power x integration a power x by log a, like that we will get. Here same formula we can apply, b by a power x, constant power x, exponential function. So we will get b by a power x by log b by a minus, now last term 2 into 1, 2 into constant into 1 integration is x plus c. This is students, now we are going to do next question. Integral of root 1 minus sin 2x dx when x belongs to open interval pi by 4 comma 5 pi by 4. First of all, write the function like this. One can be written as sin square x plus cos square x. Sin 2x can be written as 2 sin x into cos x dx. If we observe, the inside value is like a square plus b square minus 2ab. So it can be written as sin x minus cos x whole square. Now this becomes integral of root of sin x minus cos x whole square. It becomes modulus of sin x minus cos x dx. Now what is modulus? Modulus means plus or minus. Where we have to take plus, where we have to take minus, depends on the given interval. For that you need graphs of sin x and cos x. Observe graph of sin x and cos x. This is graph of sin x. This is graph of cos x. Here given interval is pi by 4 to 5 pi by 4. This is pi by 4 and this is 5 pi by 4. From pi by 4 to 5 by 4, which graph is upper sin x? Sin x is upper graph, cos x is lower one. That means sin x is greater than cos x. For what? When x belongs to pi by 4 comma 5 pi by 4. If we write cos x on left handed side, it becomes greater than 0. That means it is a positive quantity. Sin x minus cos x is positive in the interval pi by 4 comma 5 pi by 4. That means Modulus of a positive number is positive. That means you can write sin x minus cos x dx. Now integrate, we will get the answer. Sin x integration is minus cos x minus cos x integration is sin x. C is the constant of integration. This is the answer. We will do same question for another interval. Integral of root 1 minus sin 2x dx for interval seven pi by 4 to 9 pi by 4. 7 pi by 4 to 9 pi by 4. See the graphs. See the graphs of sin x and cos x. I told you in previous problem, root 1 minus sin 2x is modulus of sin x minus cos x dx. From 7 pi by 4 to 9 pi by 4, upper curve is cos x, lower curve is sin x. That means cos x is greater than sin x for x belongs to 7 pi by 4 comma 9 pi by 4. If you write everything on one side, sin x minus cos x is less than 0, is a negative one. So here in this interval, sin x minus cos x is negative. For negative values, mod becomes minus. So it becomes minus of sin x minus cos x dx. So if you multiply with minus, minus sin x plus cos x dx. Now go for integration. Minus sin x integration is minus cos x, so it becomes plus cos x. Cos x integration is sin x. So answer is cos x plus sin x. Integral of root 1 plus sin 2x dx for all x belongs to R. Students, first of all we have to write the trigonometric function like this. 1 means identity, sin square x plus cos square x. Sin 2x can be written as 2 sin x into cos x dx. Because inside of the root we have sin square x plus cos square x plus 2 sin x cos x, it can be written as sin x plus cos x whole square dx. I told you earlier, root of sin x plus cos x whole square becomes modulus of sin x plus cos x dx. Here we have to see where the sin x plus cos x is positive, where it is negative, because modulus is there. Remember that root of x square is not x, it is mod x. Since x is a real number, it may be positive, x may be positive, x may be negative. That's why we'll put mod x. So students, root of sin x plus cos x whole square is mod sin x plus cos x. Now we have to see where sin x plus cos x is positive, where sin x plus cos x is negative. In trigonometry, we have quadrants 0, pi by 2 pi, 3 pi by 2, 2 pi. First quadrant, second quadrant, third quadrant, fourth quadrant. At the middle we will take pi by 4, 3 pi by 4, 5 pi by 4, 7 pi by 4. 7 pi by 4 is also written as minus pi by 4. If you come clockwise direction, you will take negative angle minus pi by 4. In trigonometry clearly mentioned that from minus pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4 means in this interval minus pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4 sin x plus cos x is positive. From 3 pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4, from 3 pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4 sin x plus cos x is negative. So integral of mod sin x plus cos x dx can be expressed in two ways. This is positive for x belongs to minus pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4. In general, this is for one round. For n rounds, it can be written as 2n pi minus pi by 4 comma 2n pi plus pi by 4. From minus pi by 4 to 3 pi by 4, in this interval sin x plus cos x is positive for one round. For n rounds, it can be expressed in this manner: 2n pi minus pi by 4 comma 2n pi plus 3 pi by 4. Now this becomes negative from 3 pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4. So it can be written as minus of sin x plus cos x dx for x belongs to 3 pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4. The general way is add 2n pi for n rounds. From 3 pi by 4 to 7 pi by 4, this is negative. For second round, what do you have to do? You have to add 2 pi now, both ends. At both ends, you have to add 2 pi. For 2 rounds, you have to add 4 pi. So for n rounds, you have to add 2n pi for both the ends. Now answer can be explained like this. Now first one, sin x plus cos x dx integration. Sin x integration minus cos x plus cos x integration sin x. This is for what? 2n pi minus pi by 4 comma 2n pi plus 3 pi by 4. Now minus of, integrate now, second case for this second portion. Sin x integration is minus cos x plus cos x integration is sin x. This is for 2n pi plus 3 pi by 4 comma 2n pi plus 7 pi by 4. If you multiply with minus, here plus comes, here minus comes. So I am writing directly plus, this is minus. So while doing integral of root 1 plus sin 2x, after simplification you will get mod sin x plus cos x. You have to see what is the given interval. Here in this problem, x belongs to R is given, means for entire real numbers you have to see. So here for entire real numbers, for all real numbers I discussed integration, but limited interval is given. Let's verify where it is positive, where it is negative, and split and integrate separately. So the integration of root 1 plus sin 2x is maybe this, maybe this. Next question, integral of x square plus cos square x by 1 plus x square into cosecant square x dx. First of all, simplify the given function. x square plus cos square x can be written as 1 minus sin square x by 1 plus x square into cosecant square x dx. Now take x square plus 1 as a single term. Write denominator for both terms separately. You will get x square plus 1 by 1 plus x square gets cancelled. You will get 1. Next, sin square x by 1 plus x square into cosecant square x dx. This cosecant square x is for both terms. So multiply with the bracket. 1 into cosecant square x is cosecant square x minus, if you multiply cosecant square x with this, cosecant square x and sin square x gets cancelled because they are reciprocals, they gets cancelled. You will get 1 by 1 plus x square dx. At the middle we have minus, so you can integrate separately. Cosecant square x integration is minus cot x minus 1 by 1 plus x square integration is tan inverse x plus c. This is the answer. Now let's do question number 10. Students, let us simplify the function. Cos 2x can be written as 2 cos square x minus 1. Cos 2 alpha can be written as 2 cos square alpha minus 1. If you write here 2 cos square alpha minus 1, minus comes for both terms, so minus minus plus 1 divided by cos x minus cos alpha dx. Minus 1 plus 1 gets cancelled. In numerator is 2 cos square x minus 2 cos square alpha. Take 2 common and write outside. We will get cos square x minus cos square alpha. The factors are cos x plus cos alpha into cos x minus cos alpha. Cos square x minus cos square alpha. A square minus b square can be expressed as a plus b into a minus b. Now denominator. Here these two factors gets cancelled. The remaining thing is 2 into integral of cos x plus cos alpha dx. Now go for integration. Cos x integration is sin x. Here cos alpha is a constant. There is no x here. We are integrating with respect to x. There is no x here. That means it is a constant. For constant, to integrate, you have to take into 1 and integrate. Cos alpha into 1 integration is x plus c. So answer is this. 2 into sin x plus x into cos alpha plus c is the answer. Students, we are going to do next problem. Here, to get the answer, we have to rationalize the denominator. So multiply and divide with root 1 plus x square plus 1 by root 1 plus x square. If you multiply with root 1 plus x square plus 1, this becomes 1 plus x square minus 1. What I am saying is rationalize the denominator, means multiply and divide with root 1 plus x square plus 1. You will get this. Now if you observe, plus 1 and minus 1 gets cancelled. The remaining thing is x square. X square is also gets cancelled. Now numerator is root 1 plus x square plus 1 by root 1 plus x square dx. This comes for both terms. So write separately. You will get root 1 plus x square by root 1 plus x square plus 1 by root 1 plus x square dx. Gets cancelled, we will get 1. 1 plus 1 by root 1 plus x square dx. Now integrate, you will get the answer. Integration of 1 is x. 1 by root 1 plus x square integration is sin h inverse x plus c. This is the answer. Now question number 12. Here also we have to do multiplication and division of 1 minus cos x. Multiply and divide with 1 minus cos x. That means multiply numerator and denominator by 1 minus cos x. 1 into 1 minus cos x is 1 minus cos x by multiply denominator with 1 minus cos x. 1 plus cos x into 1 minus cos x is 1 minus cos square x dx. 1 minus cos x by 1 minus cos square x is sin square x dx. Now write denominator separately. 1 by sin square x is cosecant square x minus cos x by sin square x. Cos x by sin square x. 1 by sin x is cosec x. Cos x by sin x is cot x. Cos x by sin square x. 1 by sin x can be written as cosecant x. Remaining cos x by sin x can be written as cot x. Now do integration. Integration of cosecant square x is minus cot x. Minus cosecant x into cot x integration is minus cosecant x. So it becomes plus cosecant x plus c. Now question number 13 we have to do. Sin x plus cos x by root of 1 plus sin 2x. In previous problem I told you root 1 plus sin 2x can be written as modulus of sin x plus cos x dx. The numerator and denominator gets cancelled. You will get plus or minus 1. Mod means plus or minus 1. For some interval it becomes plus, for some interval it becomes minus. They gets cancelled, you will get plus or minus 1. That means plus or minus 1 integration is x plus c. Now let's do this. 1 by cos hx plus sin hx. These are hyperbolic functions. In hyperbolic functions, identity is 1 can be written as cos h square x minus sin h square x by cos hx plus sin hx. Now look numerator, it is in the form a square minus b square. The factors are a minus b into a plus b. Like that, the factors for numerator is cos hx plus sin hx into cos hx minus sin hx. So cos hx plus sin hx gets cancelled. The remaining is cos hx minus sin hx. At the middle we have minus, so integrate separately. Cos hx integration is sin hx. Sin hx integration is cos hx plus c.